Hi, I'm Chris Cerino with SCCY Industries, and I'm out at the Pendleton Range, and I have some training tips for you. I'm going to talk about the difference between double action pistols versus striker fired action pistols. Now with SCCY, most people are familiar with our double action pistols, also known as our CPX line. I've got an empty pistol here, and I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So when I put the slide forward, on a double action pistol, every time I press the trigger, I am cocking the gun and firing the gun. So this is about a 9-pound trigger. Some people get tired trying to work that trigger. Well, I have some tips and methods to do that. But let me tell you about SCCY's DVG pistol. This is our striker fired line. Again, an empty pistol. I put the slide forward. A striker fired trigger has substantially less movement in it. So up front, I've got a little slack and take up. But then from there, I begin pressing the trigger, and it's about 5.5 pounds of pressure to fire that gun. So after the gun goes off, the striker resets, and I press the trigger until the gun goes off. Well, up close and personal, you could almost do anything with the trigger and get good hits. But when I transition to a target that is a little smaller or a little more distant, I have to run the trigger the right way to guarantee the hits. So I'll start off with the CPX line with the double action trigger. I load this pistol, I've got a generous target in front of me, and I want you to see how I work this trigger. So I come into the trigger, and while I'm aiming, I'm going to be pressing the trigger the entire time. And after the gun goes off, I'm going to get right back into it because I'm going to fire multiple shots. 3 rapid shots, but that trigger is always moving. And by the time the gun settles down, I'm ready to fire that next shot. Let me show you what it looks like with a striker fired gun. From here, I'm going to move out to the plate rack. It's Pendleton's heavy duty rack. So you're going to be able to see the hits. You're going to see the targets move. It's going to be perfect. I come out on a generous target. I can be pretty aggressive and get solid hits. Now I'm going over to the plate rack. So I come out, I'm through the slack, shot, shot. The trigger finger is in constant motion. I'm absolutely sure of my target, my backstop, and beyond. I know I'm going to shoot all 6 of those plates, so I'm constantly working that trigger. By the time I get to the next target, the slack is gone from that striker fired trigger. When I get comfortable with a gun like this, I can actually have a couple pounds into the trigger as I'm settling into the next target. So, if you want to shoot fast and you want to shoot accurately, what you need to do is learn how to work the trigger on your gun. Whether it's a CPX line double action or the DVG line striker fired. Try these techniques out because I guarantee you're going to experience success. I'm Chris Cerino, and you can take that to the range.